It's nice to get out in the dry and do some running, because obviously our first day was in the miserable wet weather. And it was good to get out and kind of see. Obviously I drove in Ferrari just 1 lap or 2 laps, I think we did, just to kind of fill the car. So it was great to be able to get some running and understand the tyres.
It's very much a turbo car technique where you have to really wait until you're straight, because there's so much power all at once. Hamilton doing it a little bit there through the exit of T8, but you really do see.
Lewis Hamilton's 2026 season is absolutely stunning, and the points, jaw-dropping. During official pre-season testing, Hamilton showed serious promise compared to his difficult 2025 season. In Barcelona, he clocked the fastest time of the entire 5-day private shakedown. In Bahrain, he focused on long-run stability and race simulations, completing over 500 laps and expressing real confidence in the SF26.
What was the big moment like, Ted? Is this going to be the car that Lewis Hamilton has really coveted to bring him success in those red overalls?
Well, he'll certainly be hoping so, Craig. But, you know, the launch of any Ferrari is always a very special occasion. But this one, really more so. The fans have been up on the hill, and we've just seen it. It's come out of the car, it's come out of the garage, and is now going around this Fiorano track. And take a look. It actually looks smaller. It looks different. There's a bit more white on the engine cover as part of the team's visual identity, which has changed a little bit for this year. But the thing I've noticed straight away is this opening of the rear wing.
But on every other grid spot, we have a Max Verstappen, frustrated, angry, and warning the world that these new 2026 cars are like Formula E on steroids.
Well, you know, like, we don't have any issues. Is it fast enough? I have no idea. You know, we have to wait and see. But honestly, it's just incredible to work with all these great people. And for me to then say, of course, that it's the least enjoyable, it's not very nice. But I also want to say that I know that when I sit in the car, of course, I will always give it my very best. But yeah, it's just not really enjoyable. I mean, it's not pure Formula One. If anything, I could tell you it's probably like Formula E on steroids.
Teams to beat, and Max Verstappen gives his perspective on where Red Bull sit in the current pecking order. Most have them either third or fourth. Max says there is a clear step they have to take if they want a chance to seriously compete this season. Is that either on the power unit or elsewhere with their machine? Can Max make the difference again himself?
He even switched from number 1 to number 3 after losing the 2025 title. And right now, Red Bull simply cannot fight for wins. 2 champions, 0 points, 1 brand new era of Formula One. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 season starts now.
This year's the car generation is actually a little bit more fun to drive. It's oversteery and snappy and sliding, but it's a little bit easier to catch. And yeah, I would definitely say more enjoyable. But we definitely have work to do to improve, of course, like everybody does. But I think we've had great debriefs. Everyone's really on it. I really feel like I really feel the winning mentality like in every single person in the team more than ever, so it's a positive.
With Ferrari, because they are the testing Formula One world champions, which we know means absolutely nothing at all. But let's start outright pace. They topped the test. As we were saying on our podcast episode, the regulations have changed this year. Now, every time the drivers hit a straight, they're able to open the rear wing and the front wing, reduce the drag, reduce the downforce, increase top line speed. Every team, that rear wing opens. Ferrari's doesn't just open, it flips 180 degrees and goes upside down. Now, what does that do? Right? The basics of aerodynamics in Formula One are the opposite of wings on aeroplanes. Wings on aeroplanes are designed to provide lift and launch them up into the sky. Wings on Formula One cars are upside down and designed to push the cars down onto the track and increase grip. So this wing flipping 180 essentially turns it into an aeroplane wing and induces lift. And that tiny little winglet at the bottom just helps to keep those tyres down on the ground so the rear tyres aren't lifted up into the air. It's incredibly smart. It means the Ferrari is lightning in a straight line, and as we saw from their practice starts, the Ferrari off the line, I don't know if you guys saw the last video of this, because it's madness.
I mean, who didn't see it?
You've got all the other cars lined up, row 1, row 2, row 3. Lewis is back on like row 10.
I think he started from 9th.
I think he started
There were
from
gaps
Qatar.
between each row as
Like,
well.
he wasn't even in Bahrain anymore.
Yes.
And by the time they got to turn 1, Lewis was P1.
Yeah.
The way it looks at the moment, Ferrari could qualify on the back row of the grid.
Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari, number 44, 7 world titles. The most decorated driver in Formula One history, now chasing 8 in red. In pre-season testing, he put in a best lap of 1 minute 16.348 in Barcelona, the fastest time of the entire 5-day private shakedown. Then in Bahrain, he clocked 1 minute 33.408, running 7th fastest overall, but crucially focused on long runs, race simulations, and understanding the car. And across the full testing program, he completed a staggering 516 laps, roughly 2,790 kilometers, nearly 3,000 kilometers. That's dedication. That's a man on a mission.
Well, nobody's got more confidence in George than George. And I like the way he goes about his racing. And he's done the hard yards at Williams for a number of years. He moved to Mercedes just as they stopped dominating, kept his head down. He is the number one in the team. He's still got, I think Kimi Antonelli's teammate will have a great season as well. But George has got all the confidence he needs to win races, we've seen, and I think to go and win a championship if it's available to him.
Now Max Verstappen, Red Bull Racing, now partnered with Ford. Number 3, because he lost his number 1 after losing the 2025 title. And his best time in Bahrain? 1 minute 33.109 seconds. Faster than Hamilton's Bahrain time on raw pace, but with 0 points as the season officially begins. Both drivers are on 0. The slate is clean. The difference? One driver is excited. The other, I'm angry. Let's talk about Lewis Hamilton first, because what's happening at Ferrari right now is genuinely exciting. After a difficult 2025 season where Hamilton struggled to adapt to the previous generation of Ferrari machinery, the 2026 car, the SF26, feels like a completely different animal. And Hamilton himself has noticed. He described the new cars as more enjoyable and snappy to drive. The 2026 cars are lighter, narrower, and built around a totally new aerodynamic philosophy. And for a driver of Hamilton's sensitivity and technical feedback ability, that matters enormously. Now, it hasn't been perfect. Observers noted that Hamilton was still searching for that completely smooth front-end feeling at high speed during the Bahrain test. Getting the car to do exactly what you want at 200 miles per hour, that takes time. But here's what stands out. Reliability. Over 516 laps completed, Hamilton expressed genuine confidence in how the SF26 holds together. For a man who knows how races are won and lost on trust in your machinery, that confidence is everything. The one concern hanging over Hamilton, though, Ferrari still hasn't confirmed his permanent race engineer for 2026. Carlos Santi is covering early races. Riccardo Adami stepped away after their breakdown in communication in 2025, and finding the right replacement to help Hamilton chase that 8th title is still a work in progress. It's a small detail that could have big consequences. Now, Max Verstappen, 4 world championships, the most dominant driver of the modern era, and right now, he is not happy. At pre-season testing, Verstappen went on a broadside attack against the new 2026 regulations. He called the energy management heavy formula anti-racing. He said it felt like Formula E on steroids. And you have to understand why he feels this way. In 2025, the power split between the internal combustion engine and the battery was 80% ICE, 20% electric. In 2026, it's been flipped to a 50-50 split. 50% of your power is now coming from a massively upgraded battery system. That means drivers are managing energy harvesting and deployment on every single lap. Liam Lawson, Verstappen's new teammate, admitted the cars are a lot busier to drive. The loss of mechanical downforce under the new chassis rules makes everything harder. But for Verstappen, a driver built on raw instinct, on pushing every corner to the absolute limit, being told to manage a battery and lift and coast, that goes against his entire DNA as a racer. He also admitted bluntly after testing, Red Bull are not able to fight for wins yet in 2026. They need to take another step. Here's where it gets really interesting, because the 2026 regulations may actually favour Hamilton over Verstappen, at least in the short term. In an era where energy management is king, where being smooth on the throttle directly affects how much battery power you recover, Hamilton's natural style is an asset. Verstappen, on the other hand, is a hunter. He attacks corners aggressively, uses maximum downforce, and relies on feel over calculation. He has been one of the greatest at exploiting every single millisecond, but in a formula where the car is telling you to back off, to harvest, to manage, that instinctive attack mode driving can actually work against you. Now, don't count Verstappen out. He has adapted before. He will adapt again. And Red Bull have the resources, the history, and, now with Ford, a new engineering partnership with serious long-term ambitions. But right now, at the start of 2026, the playing field has never been more level. And that's the thing about 2026 that makes it so utterly compelling. Verstappen himself said it best. This is the biggest change in over 10 years. He predicted a big upset in the pecking order. He said even he doesn't know what to expect. Think about what that means. The most dominant driver of his generation, the man who won 4 consecutive world championships, is saying he genuinely doesn't know where Red Bull will end up. And at the centre of all of it, a 39-year-old 7-time champion at Ferrari, looking faster and more motivated than he has in years, and a 28-year-old 4-time champion at Red Bull, angry, determined, and not yet finished. This is the most unpredictable season Formula One has seen in a decade, and it starts now. If you're as excited for this season as we are, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below telling us who do you think wins the 2026 title? Hamilton, Verstappen, or does someone completely new take the crown? We'll see you at the grid.
Lewis for Ferrari. As Formula One fans, we always want Ferrari to do well, don't we? And I'd love to see that come right for Lewis. He seems a bit happier. He will be great at using the tools that are available to him with this new under the new regulations. He's got to beat Charles Leclerc on the other Ferrari because he's right on it as well. But a happy Lewis has always been, and not just a Ferrari, always been a fast Lewis. So I think if he comes into the season, and I have to say Ferrari have been quite innovative over the winter, and they look in a better place than we've seen them for a few years now. So I'm confident that Lewis will have a better year.
Lewis Hamilton aims to be stronger than ever in the 2026 Formula One season, and some ex-F1 legends are already predicting their 2026 champion, and there is no one else. It's Lewis Hamilton. Yes, you heard that right. A happy Lewis has always been, and not just at Ferrari, a fast Lewis. Martin Brundle.
With Ferrari, because they are the testing Formula One world champions, which we know means absolutely nothing at all. But let's start outright pace. They top the test. As we were saying on our podcast episode, the regulations have changed this year. Now every time the drivers hit a straight, they're able to open the rear wing and the front wing, reduce the drag, reduce the downforce, increase top line speed. Every team, that rear wing opens. Ferrari's doesn't just open, it flips 180 degrees and goes upside down. Now, what does that do, right? The basics of aerodynamics in Formula One are the opposite of wings on aeroplanes. Wings on aeroplanes are designed to provide lift and launch them up into the sky. Wings on Formula One cars are upside down and designed to push the cars down onto the track and increase grip. So this wing flip in 180 essentially turns it into an aeroplane wing and induces lift. And that tiny little winglet at the bottom just helps to keep those tyres down on the ground so the rear tyres aren't lifted up into the air. It's incredibly smart. It means the Ferrari is lightning in a straight line, and as we saw from their practice starts, the Ferrari off the line, I don't know if you guys saw the last video of this, because it's madness.
I mean, who didn't see it?
You've got all the other cars lined up, row 1, row 2, row 3. Lewis is back on like row 10.
I think he started from 9th.
I think he started from
gaps
Qatar.
between each row as
like
well.
he wasn't even in Bahrain anymore.
Yes.
And by the time they got to turn 1, Lewis was P1.
Yeah.
the way it looks at the moment, Ferrari could qualify on the back row of the grid and be leading the Grand Prix by turn 1. Like, that's how good that car looks.
But on the other side, Martin Brundle is also backing Lewis Hamilton's ex-teammate George Russell, saying, "I do think he's ready for it," of the 28-year-old who is entering his 8th season of F1.
Well, nobody's got more confidence in George than George. And I like the way he goes about his racing. And he's done the hard yards at Williams for a number of years. He moved to Mercedes just as they stopped dominating, kept his head down. He is the number one in the team. He's still got, I think Kimi Antonelli's teammate will have a great season as well. But George has got all the confidence he needs to win races, we've seen, and I think to go and win a championship if it's available to him.
And on top of all of that, Lewis Hamilton's ex-team boss, Toto Wolff, is watching everything unfold from the Mercedes garage, absolutely stunned by what Hamilton is producing at Ferrari in 2026.
When we resigned the contract with Lewis, we opted for shorter term, and so the events are not a surprise, maybe the timing. So what happened is that we got together for coffee in my place in Oxford, and him returning to the factory, and he said to me that he has decided to race for Ferrari in 2025. And that was basically it. And we had a good hour of conversation. This is where we are.
Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, because today we are breaking down why the legends believe Lewis Hamilton is going to win the 2026 World Championship. The evidence is undeniable. Let's start with the basics. Who is Lewis Hamilton? 7 World Championships. That is one more than Michael Schumacher. The man everyone said was untouchable. Lewis didn't just match him, he surpassed him. 103 race wins, the most in Formula One history. 104 pole positions, more than any driver who has ever sat in a Formula One car. And here's what people forget. Lewis Hamilton doesn't just win. He wins in the rain. He wins from the back. He wins when the pressure is at its absolute maximum. Yes, 2025 was painful. The ground effect era wasn't kind to his driving style. He failed to reach a Sunday podium at Ferrari. Critics were loud. Pundits were circling. Some people actually wrote him off. This off-season, Lewis Hamilton did not go on holiday and hope for the best. He went to WAR with himself. On his Instagram, Lewis posted a series of workout videos that sent shockwaves through the F1 world. Lifting sessions, cardio, flexibility training, strength and endurance blocks. The kind of program that would break most athletes half his age. And his caption? Let me read this word for word. "This is the most I've ever trained between seasons. I'm pushing hard every day to show up stronger than ever this year. With lifting, cardio, flexibility, and strength training, everything is about progress and endurance and going further than the day before. See you soon, Melbourne." He is 41 years old. 41. And he is training harder than he ever has in his entire life. Let that sink in. This is not a man winding down. This is a man who looked at a difficult 2025 season, stared it dead in the eyes, and said, "You made me stronger." Now let's talk about the weapon, because Ferrari have not just built a car, they have built Lewis Hamilton's dream machine. In Bahrain pre-season testing, Ferrari unveiled a rear wing that can rotate 180 degrees. Team boss Fred Vasseur, in typical style, nicknamed it the Macarena. Innovative, aggressive, and completely legal. But it gets better. Both Hamilton and teammate Charles Leclerc demonstrated launch starts in testing that left every other team looking like they were driving in slow motion. Ferrari's acceleration off the line was on another level, and Hamilton himself was beaming in Bahrain. He said the SF26 has, in his own words, his DNA in it. He helped design aspects of this car. He called it fun to drive.